I ran the same 8 tasks through ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini this week. The results weren't close, but not in the way the benchmarks tell you. One of these models writes code that actually runs. One of them reads a 400-page PDF and doesn't hallucinate. And one of them is quietly the best research engine on the planet right now, and almost nobody's using it that way. Here's the thing nobody tells you in these comparison videos. There is no best model. There's a best model for the specific thing you're doing at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. By the end of this, you'll know exactly which one to open for which task. And the third use case I'll show you is the one I run every single day to save about 2 hours. Let me start with the one that surprised me most. Gemini. Specifically Gemini in 2026 with its massive context window. Most people use it like a worse ChatGPT. That's the mistake. Where Gemini destroys everyone is volume. Here's the exact workflow. You've got a folder of 12 PDFs, contracts, a research paper, 3 meeting transcripts. You drag all of them into Gemini at once. Then you type, across all these documents, find every mention of payment terms, list the conflicts between them, and cite the exact page. It reads all of it. Not a summary, not a sample, all of it. A task that used to mean opening 12 tabs and Control F for 40 minutes now takes 90 seconds. I do this with client onboarding docs. 12 files in, 1 clean conflict report out. And here's the rehook I didn't promise. Gemini is also wired into your Google account. So you can say, find the email from Sarah about the Q3 budget and draft a reply confirming the new number. It pulls from Gmail directly. That's not a chatbot anymore. That's an agent sitting on top of your actual work. Now, Claude. If you write for a living or you code, this is your daily driver. 2 reasons. First, writing. Claude's output doesn't sound like a press release wrote it. The trick is the way you prompt it. Don't say, write me a blog post. Say, here are 3 of my old emails. Match this voice. Now write a follow-up to a lead who went quiet. Keep it under 90 words, no exclamation marks, and with a soft question. It clones your tone shockingly well. I paste my own writing as a style sample, and it stops sounding like AI within 1 prompt. Second, code. This is where Claude pulls ahead for real work. Open the Claude interface, describe what you want, build me a Python script that takes a CSV of expenses, categorizes them, and outputs a monthly summary chart. And it doesn't just dump code. It builds it, you run it right there, and if it breaks, you paste the error and it fixes it in context. Last week, I built a small invoicing tool with 0 of my own typing. 45 minutes. I can't write Python. Didn't matter. The honest catch, Claude is the most cautious of the 3. Ask it something edgy or borderline and it'll lecture you. For business and code, that caution is fine. For brainstorming wild marketing angles, it can feel like talking to HR. Which brings me to ChatGPT. ChatGPT in 2026 is the generalist that does everything 90% as well as the specialists. And that 90% across the board is why it's still the one most people should pay for if they only pay for one. But the reason it's worth $20 isn't chat. It's the ecosystem. Here's the workflow I actually run daily. This is the 3rd one I promised. I use ChatGPT's custom GPTs plus its agent mode as a research and draft machine. I built a custom GPT and gave it instructions once. You are my content researcher. When I give you a topic, search the web, find 5 recent sources, pull the specific numbers and quotes, and output them as bullet points with links. Then draft a 200-word hook. Now every morning I type 1 topic. 60 seconds later, I have sourced research and a first draft. The task that used to eat my entire morning, gone. And the image and voice stack is genuinely useful, not a gimmick. You can upload a screenshot of a spreadsheet that's broken and say, why isn't this formula working? And it reads the image and tells you. You can talk to it hands-free while you're walking and have it draft an email you dictate. That's real leverage. So let's make this dead simple. Here's the actual decision tree. Big documents, deep research across many files, anything tied to your Google account. Open Gemini. It's the only one that genuinely handles huge volume without losing the plot. Serious writing in your own voice and building or fixing real code. That's Claude. The output quality is a tier above, and the coding workflow is the closest thing to having a junior developer who never sleeps. Everyday driver, web research, images, voice, custom agents you set up once and reuse. That's ChatGPT. If you only buy 1 subscription, buy this one, because the ecosystem covers the most ground. Now here's what nobody admits. The smart move in 2026 isn't loyalty. It's using all 3 for free where you can and paying for the 1 tool that maps to your actual job. If you're a founder drowning in documents, you're a Gemini person. If you're a writer or a solo builder, Claude earns its keep in a week. If you're a generalist who needs a bit of everything, ChatGPT. And here's the part that actually makes you money. Stop thinking of these as chatbots and start thinking of them as employees. Gemini reads your inbox. Claude writes your code. A custom ChatGPT agent does your research at 6 a.m. before you wake up. Stack those three and you've quietly replaced about half a day of work for less than the cost of one team lunch a month. One concrete next step before you close this. Tonight, take the single most repetitive task in your week, the report you write, the emails you answer, the research you do, and build one custom GPT for it. Give it your instructions once. Tomorrow morning, run it. That one move is the difference between using AI and being leveraged by AI. If this saved you the headache of testing all three yourself, subscribe, because tomorrow I'm showing you how to chain these models together into one automation that runs while you sleep, using a free tool to connect them. That's the video that turns these three into an actual system. Don't miss it.